Olivoper did not sleep well the night before. Strange dreams plagued his mind after traveling through the mega basement to a eerie place that looked like a large four-sided pyramid monolith construction, but time and space did not work right there. He wakes up today, and his friend Arianza has gone off on her own adventure to clear her mind. He's wondering what he should do. Then, as he's having breakfast, there's a knock on his door. It's Oaknora, a friend. They used to adventure together. And she says, Olivoper, I need your help. Some friends of mine are perhaps in danger, certainly in trouble. Olivoper stands up from the breakfast table and wipes his napkin on his face and his hands and says, tell me more. She motions for him. No, sit down, finish. I can talk. You know that I enjoy, in my retirement from adventuring, hanging out with nobles, smiling and flattering them and being invited to fancy parties. Well, some of these nobles, they have sons and daughters, reckless youth. They do strange things. They have pranks. They do practical jokes. They dress up as ghosts and try and scare the town watch. A group of them has started trying to study esoteric lore. And they don't understand how esoteric lore works, that it actually can be dangerous. They found some old books from somewhere, maybe stole them from a parent's library, maybe shoplifted them from a rare bookseller. Who knows? In any case, something apparently went wrong, and one of them was badly injured. A young woman named Julabez. Olivoper says, so I can't help with that. He finishes his breakfast and goes to wash his hands better. She follows him to the wash basin and keeps talking. No, the danger is that there's some sort of bounty hunter in town. Not the type of bounty hunter that is one of Nash's champions, but someone that does it professionally for a living. His name is Tomberry Vivimew. And he's not a nice guy. I went on one adventure with him exploring Uleg ore and couldn't work with him again. He has no kindness in his heart. In any case, he seems to have found out about this accident with the nobles. And one in particular, the young son of someone that I would like to think of as a friend, Sir Tilbad. His son, Cragthat's Tilbad, sort of was the one responsible for trying to do this ritual that they shouldn't have done. I think he was trying to make some sort of love enchantment, love potion, because he was awfully fond of Julabez, although she did not return his affections. But instead of inclining her heart towards him metaphysically, it seems to have twisted her heart inside her body. The heart, her heartbeat is irregular. She is on death's door. Of course, the town's best healers are trying to help her, but Cragthax feels guilty enough. He's probably never going to attempt such a thing again, having hurt someone he was in love with. But that's enough for Tomberry. He knows that somehow, I don't know why, he was probing about the old building that the esoteric lore nobles were using as their hideout. And he found out about what happened. And now Cragthax is hiding, but Tomberry is skilled. He might find him, and even if he doesn't do anything physical to punish Cragthax, the scandal would be immense, of course. Olivoper goes to the window and looks out at the morning sky and says, "I'm still not quite sure what you're asking me to do, Oaknora. Am I to help Cragthax hide better? Am I to convince Tomberry to give up his personal mission? I don't know what to call it. Why does he care? You said he's not from this town?" No, I think there's more to this. Why was he at their hideout? Well, I will go there, says Olivoper. Will you go with me? I cannot, says Oaknora. I need to deal with these nobles. They don't understand these things. I'm helping them talk to their children and return the books to their rightful owners and things like that. But yes, if you could explore the hideout, and she provides him with an address, then that would be good. We could find out what Tomberry is really after, and perhaps you can just help him find that, or leave it out in an obvious place for him to find, or something, and then he can go and find someone that actually has a bounty on them, because that's what he does. So Olivoper agrees to that. He says goodbye to Oaknora, wishes her luck. She wishes him luck. I have a feeling that something is there that he's after. May Laurel guide you, she says. Laurel being the power that is in charge of memorials and things being remembered and used again. How does Olivoper's journey fare? Let's check. As he travels across town to this address, an unexpected grisly scene shocks him. One composure lost. He needs to make a medium melee or composure. He does. What does he see? He sees a slain lizard folk, a reiver called an argle. There's a crowd gathered, and they're looking at it. Well, what is it doing? These are monstrous raiders that are they travel in war bands and attack small villages. Why is there one by itself in the middle of this town? He talks to people, and here's a rumor. There were strange alchemical things. Look, there's broken glass here on the sidewalk. I'm not sure what happened. Did someone make a potion that creates a monster? Olivoper shrugs. This town is full of strange things. We have too many mad scientists in the industry district. Yes, says the stranger. Certainly. I don't feel safe today. Well, it seems like there was only one, but who killed it and where did they go and why did they just leave it here? Our town is strange, echoes that person. Slightly rattled, hoping this is not related to his own errand, Olivoper continues to this building. Who owned this building? It's in the industry district. That makes sense. It's owned by Lords Tizak Aralg. That's a difficult name. Tizak and Fazak Aralg are kobolds that run the industry district. And this was a building they had owned, but were not using. And then it was boarded up with signs saying, "Stay away, fumigation will happen soon." It turns out Oaknora had shared this, that the esoteric lore young nobles had used some strange ritual to make an illusion of rats or bugs or something in this building so that other people would not go inside. And then they would creep in and go to the basement and have their strange meetings. So Olivoper looks around. Does he see anything interesting? You're not very perceptive, are you, Olivoper? No. Looks like no one's really watching you, so you go around to where there's a side door or a window or something and climb in. What do you find inside? He goes down in the basement and, random document, finds a birthday party speech that provides instructions for presenting false testimony and incriminates a family. Well, that's quite appropriate. So the young nobles were here not only to share what new esoteric lore they have found, but this last meeting was even a birthday party. Perhaps it was even Julabas's birthday. And someone had given a birthday party speech honoring the young man or woman whose birthday it was. And then someone had made notes on the back of the speech where they had talked about what to tell their parents in case somebody was caught being out too late or whatever. Clearly the names here would incriminate multiple families of the town's nobles if this paper got in anyone's hands that wanted to use it for that purpose. So Olivoper folds it and puts it back in his pocket. And in the random location, there's a room with low ceilings that has a crawl space, also quite appropriate. So this basement room, he's surprised to see, has a crawl space heading off from one corner. He hopes it's not another entrance to the mega basement. He had a terrible time there yesterday. Doesn't want to really go there alone. He's going to look around for more clues. What were these young nobles doing? What might Tomberry have been searching for? Ooh, very successful die roll. Let's search again. He sees footprints. The clue I'm looking at was a orc that had fled from Dwergaz wants to infiltrate somewhere where it's possible to craft what is needed. That sounds like a good motivation for Tomberry, who is not an orc, but probably looks like an orc since he's right now an ogre. So he sees footprints coming into the building, and they're going downstairs into this basement room and then down into the crawl space. The dust there was not disturbed by the nobles. They were not here for that. But someone had come, and you could see even handprints where they had gotten on their hands and knees to go in here. And he doesn't see any prints exiting. So that makes him feel a little more brave. He has no reason to think that this self-proclaimed bounty hunter would do him harm. And even if this crawl space goes into the mega basement, there's some other explorer that would trigger any traps or alert any monsters before him. So it's not like the mega basement is just a place full of dangers. There's some interesting and wondrous things there too. But his mission was to find out what Tomberry wants, so let's follow Tomberry, thinks Olivoper. And he ties a cloth around his face because it's awfully dusty and starts crawling into this crawl space. It's dark, he does have a lantern, so he lights his lantern before he enters. And his sword is a dueling sword, so he has his lantern in one hand and his sword sticking out in front of him with the other. He's on his knees and elbows as he's entering this space. Hopefully there's nothing dangerous there. Let's check again how a journey fares. A sudden shift in weather is not appropriate. A crowd apparently blocks his route. He's going to lose another composure. He needs a medium etiquette or escape. He's going to want to reroll. A bunch of rats scurry past, scared by this large person compared to them. He looks at the hole they came out on one side and the hole they went into at another. Does this mean that Tomberry was here a long time ago, that the rats had worked up their courage? Is this not a meaningful event? He continues on and finds, I'm going to use a dungeon crawl location, a small oval room, eerie and unsettling. The air is strangely icy. Shadows move oddly. And as he gets to his feet, his footsteps echo in ways that seem like whispers. This room has pillars and 3 wooden doors. And it says there's probably a beginning of a chase, but we know that he's pursuing Tomberry. Can he follow the footprints? Let's see how his track goes. Is it dusty enough that just the most minimal success helps him know? So he looks around with his lantern light at the footprints, but it looks like whoever was here tried all of the doors before choosing one and closed them all behind. So he will have to do the same. He'll start with the one on the left and peek through. There's a choice of two paths, so a T-shaped junction. He's running low on composure. Can he intuit or figure out what to do? Has he heard about this place? Oh, he certainly has. And is he fortunate to have the footprints with him? No. So there's some signs here that have been put up by others. He is indeed in the mega basement. But he can tell this is not the way he wants to go. Tomberry's footprints do not continue very far in this passage. Evidently, the bounty hunter had come to this intersection, seen the sign, and realized, no, this is not where he wants, because his footprints turn around and head back. Olivoper tries the second door. And it grows quickly maze-like. He's getting puzzled and a little bit frustrated, so he's going to wait a bit and recover his composure, eat a snack that he has on him, some cheese and dried fruit and crackers, drink of water, kind of muster himself and say, I don't want to keep going in these maze-like corridors, and I can see that the bounty hunter didn't either. So back to that room with pillars and the eeriness, and he'll try the third door and see what happens. There's an intermediate stop that might be helpful. So there's a junction, and Tomberry has gone past this side passage, but maybe there's something there. And eventually reached a sprawling rectangular room that has no new exits and some tunnels, which I will reinterpret as large pipes. So there he sees the orc. Looks like the same size as the footprint-making orc he's been following, dressed in a chain habergeon, equipped like he imagines a bounty hunter might be. Maybe this is Tomberry, who is at some machinery trying to adjust it, fix it. He hasn't had time to look closely. And he's about to try and be polite and mutter a greeting and see if he can maybe even be helpful. Why are you here? We have a mutual friend, Oaknora, he was planning on saying. And she said I might find you here and help you find something. But that's not what happens. There's a strange trio of creatures, like small squirrel people with matted fur, aquernes, that are very fond of doing crazy things with machinery. And a secret door opens opposite, where Olivoper has entered, and 3 of these creatures come in. Are they related to the other reiver that was seen up at the street level? Will Tomberry help Olivoper deal with them if they are aggressive? Or is Olivoper about to find out that Tomberry is working with the reivers for some strange purpose? That will be tomorrow's story. Good night.